Thanks, we got mail.
Let me put my
Did
phone on
Did he
silent.
do a countdown? Did the You Got Mail guy do one? He's not trying to cut it.
Welcome! Welcome to the Out of Continues podcast. This is episode 228 coming at you live. This is a weekly podcast. Post up every Monday on outofcontinues.com as an MP3. It also goes up before that on youtube.com/outofcontinues, maybe days before, maybe even minutes before it goes up on outofcontinues.com. And it goes up live on Google Hangouts on some random URL that I don't even know how to say it. So if you miss it, you miss it. I'm sorry. But anyways, I'm your host Stafa. What's up, everyone? This is for all you guys new to the show, and I have different guests on the show each week. And this week, returning to the show, I got Kevin.
Hello.
What's up, Kevin?
Not much. How about you?
It's like you never left.
I know. I'm just constantly in this Google Hangout, just waiting for you to bring me back online to do this podcast. That's my only purpose in life.
That's a sad purpose, but at least it's a good one. And we have Jess.
Hello.
What's up, Jess? It's been like a couple weeks since you've been on here.
I know, it has. I've been super busy just doing Twitch school and work.
Oh man, you're doing like your masters, right?
Yep.
Woo!
Getting that grad work.
Woo! Go get your PhD and then your what's after PhD? Like
Nothing. Nothing comes before PhD. It just stops after this. It ends. I'm like, yeah. I feel like I'm about to go Gerard Butler in like 300 at some point.
this
is masters.
finals.
But now, how have you been, Staffa? More importantly.
I am sick.
Oh
Like
no.
I have a cold. So I wanna apologize to the viewers real quick if especially for those of you that are watching the video, if I reach over here to my mic and then press this mute button and then you see my head just violently go up and down, it's because I'm sneezing and I have crazy violent sneezes. So please be patient with me. Hopefully we should be cool, but I'm gonna try to reach over here and hit the mute button if I feel something coming up. And but other than that, I'm ready to roll. So let's do this. This week's episode segments, we're gonna have our main topic, which is insanity. It's gonna be Video Game Island. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. But after that, we're going to have some announcements and then a few news topics. So before we get to our main topic, I just want to do a quick disclaimer and say that all opinions expressed on this show are of our own and not representative of our employers, whether past, present, or future. Hashtag hire Safa. I need a job.
Tweet it out, everyone.
Let's do it. So anyways, let's go to Video Game Island. What our main topic is about is we are gonna be stranded on our own islands, but the one thing is at least we get to pick our own crew that's gonna be with us to help us out while we're stranded on Video Game Island. So each of us will have 5 people, five video game characters that we'll pick to be, there to do whatever. So as usual, whenever we do these lists, we're gonna just do one at a time and rotate. And since I was the one that came up with this insane topic, I'll go first.
All right.
I'm ready.
And who would like to go after me after I go? Just so we get this
You can
order.
go, Jess. if you want.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
All right, so it's gonna be me, Jess, and then Kevin.
Yeah.
All right. So the first pick I have on my list is Big Boss. from Metal Gear.
Mhm.
Because Big Boss is a survivor. Like especially in like Metal Gear Solid 3, like you're literally eating snakes. I mean, it's not just the title of the game, Snake Eater. You know, you're eating raw animals, and you know he knows how to do first aid. So not only can he help me out if I get hurt, but he's also resourceful with like food and shelter and stuff like that. So that's why I think Big Boss is a must-have if I'm stranded on an island.
Do you think he's big enough you could use him like a raft?
Hey, he's a big boss, but he's not that big.
Now I've just insulted him, and I'm trapped on an
Come
island
on
with him.
now. So all right, Jess, who do you
Okay,
have on your list?
My number 5 person would be Cattin from Animal Crossing. He's a sailor, so he has experience near the high seas.
Mhm.
He's a great singer, and he's got that, enough of a creep factor. Like, you have to have one. You have to have one creepy person on the island, and he can do that. Plus, he seems to be able to fashion clothes out of, like, the randomest stuff. So he'd be good. He could be, like, our personal tailor. I feel like
Nice.
he's a good addition.
I'm not really too familiar with the Animal Crossing crew since I haven't really played that game.
Oh, well, look him up, and then be creeped out.
What's his name again?
Captain.
I had-
Kapp, and then an apostrophe, and then an N. Because he's cool. Because he's hip with the kids. They leave out letters.
Oh,
So
so
he's
he's
got
like
that youth vibe.
is he what is he, a frog, a turtle?
He's a turtle.
All right. Okay, so
That's what it is.
we're moving on then.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin.
All right. Well, I figure if we're gonna be stranded on a desert island, we're gonna need someone to protect us from all the desert monsters, right? All the sand monsters. So my first pick has to be Geralt of Rivia from the Witcher games. I think he's a weathered companion. He's always, traveling. He doesn't have a home, so he's comfortable on the road, and he is resourceful. He'd be able to get us through anything, or at least get me through anything.
All right. Next, that I have on my list. Keep in mind, my list isn't really like in any order. I just like threw them in there, so it's not like it's number 4 or anything. But next on my list, I have Funky Kong from Donkey Kong Country. Cause Funky Kong, I figure I need somebody from Donkey Kong Country because they're used to the whole tropical setting and can probably help me out with that. But Funky Kong is the coolest one. He has the music. He can surf. So he can probably teach me how to surf, and maybe we can try to get somewhere. He can find the bananas, and he's just a cool guy. And I'm not talking about the Funky Kong that was in the cartoon that they changed his color to be white just so he won't be racist or something like that. It makes no sense. They changed the gorilla's fur to white for the cartoon just so it wouldn't be offensive or something like that.
Maybe he was a albino villain. Maybe it was like the Donkey Kong Vinci Code.
Well, like he's like the hip hop guy in the whole Donkey Kong crew. So they're like, oh, if we make him brown, it's racist. But like all the gorillas are brown.
That's
So
racist,
they
Safa.
made him white for no reason.
That's racist to say that all monkeys are brown. I'm offended.
Not a monkey, he's a gorilla.
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 Man.
But anyways, Funky
Okay.
Kong.
Mine would be Kirby. So I was thinking along the lines of Kevin, where we need like a defense, and Kirby can pretty much suck anything up and like blow it away from us. But also I was thinking he could suck us up and then maybe float us away to safety.
Oh.
But the thing is, he gains the abilities of the person that he sucks up, so that means he's gonna end up with depression. I'm sorry, Kirby.
You know, I was actually before we started this recording, I was actually thinking of putting Kirby on my list, but it was for a completely different
Really?
reason. It was for a different reason.
What was your reason?
Well, it's because he sucks in so much food in his mouth, and he spits it out too, and it's always like in perfect condition. So I figure he probably can provide for food or something.
I've seen Kirby. He would just eat all that. He would
Well,
not provide for you.
from what I understand, like what's inside Kirby's mouth is like another dimension.
Yeah.
So his
That's
mouth
what
is
I've
actually a
always
black
figured.
hole. Like it's
Nice.
not like it goes inside his body. It goes like into another dimension. But either way, I was actually thinking of putting Kirby on my list.
Yeah. That makes sense, though. Next one on my list. So we're stuck on an island. We're gonna get pretty bored, right? I mean, there's nothing to do except explore, figure out where you're trying to go, trying to survive. So the best way to entertain yourself is with a game of bowling, right? So we need Roman from Grand Theft Auto 4 because he always wants to go bowling.
You gotta
And
go bowling with.
he'd be happy to go bowling with you because he's always wanted to go bowling.
So you go bowling with like the coconuts.
Yes, exactly.
Sure, I guess it's recreation. Alright, next on my list, I figure I need to have Minecraft Steve. Because
makes sense.
Minecraft Steve
Yep.
can craft anything
Yeah.
and can also punch trees. I mean, what else do I gotta say, man?
I mean, anybody can punch trees, but he punches trees really well.
He punches them so well that they just like turn out into cubes.
Exactly. And
I
like
approve.
what he punches defies physics too. It just kind of floats there.
Yeah.
So I mean, Minecraft Steve, come on now.
You've got a lot of people that defy physics. Like you've got the black hole mouth thing going on, and
Well, I didn't put Kirby on my list though.
well, it was on your original one. I feel like there's a vibe. I feel like you're going with defying physics.
Big Boss doesn't defy physics.
Does he though?
He just defies reality. All right, Jess.
Okay. I was thinking Chell from Portal. So
Oh, you can
interesting
have long
stories.
conversations.
Yeah, long conversations. She can put up with a lot without getting annoyed. And also, if she has the portal gun, we might be able to get off the island. So I've got a getting off the island theme going on.
You just want to go back home.
I'm like, I've got Netflix at home. Like, I'm not missing season 5 of House of Cards when it comes out. We're getting off this island.
That's right. Man, I still got 2 more episodes of House of Cards. I was going through it, and then Daredevil started.
Oh, Daredevil's so good.
Daredevil. All right, Kevin.
All right, so next on my list, I couldn't decide because I feel like both of these would be good in a situation like this. So maybe I'll need your help picking between these two. But I would have to pick either Nathan Drake or Lara Croft because they're also very resourceful people, and they tend to get themselves in situations where they need to survive, so they have experience. And I feel like they'd be able to use the resources to the best advantage.
I'm not going to lie, Nathan Drake is my next one. For the exact same reasons, and also man candy. I'm going to have one. So you might want the lady candy.
Probably.
Well, between those two, I think Nathan Drake would make for better company because he's a funny guy. I mean, like Lara Croft, she seems like a nice girl and all, but
she's pretty serious and like always supposed to get to work.
Nathan Drake, no.
Like he's gonna be amusing, and also on Uncharted 3, he had to deal with a lot of like inclement places.
Yeah.
So he's better at that than I think.
Plus,
Lara is.
Lara Croft's she dies brutally all the time. Come
True,
on,
and she
man.
can't swim very well. Except in
Farted
the new
from
ones.
all of that.
So
She's like the ultimate because she can take all of that and not die.
I don't know. I think Nathan Drake is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would go him.
Yeah. All right. My turn, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a similar choice to Big Boss. Needs somebody who's a survivor, who understands the wilderness, especially the tropical setting, and someone who understands, what it's like to be out there and not be insane, because you gotta know what the definition of insanity is with Voss.
Yeah.
Maybe, but the thing is, like, if I get on his bad side, he might like bury me and like just have my head sticking out of the sand and then start torturing me, which might be a bad thing. Have you guys seen the Far Cry 3 promo videos?
Yeah. It was a
Or
while
him
ago,
and
but...
like, what's his name, Christopher Mintz-Plasse or whatever his name is,
Mhm.
Yeah.
McLovin, like he's torturing him.
Yeah.
Those were great.
He's certainly gonna add a variety to
But
the
but
island.
I mean, Voss is a survivor. He's a survivor. So I
True.
want to survive. I'll risk it and have the crazy on my team, but we're gonna at least survive.
That works.
That
All
does
right,
work.
Jess.
All right, so since you already know that I picked Nathan Drake as my other, I'll pick my last member of the crew, the one that congeals everything together, would be Wilson Percival Higsbury from Don't Starve. So, as we've seen from the Shipwreck DLC, he is like the MacGyver of islands.
Yep.
He can make anything. He can make houses. He can make shoes. He's like, you want a time machine? I'll make a time machine from this coconut. Like, boom. There you go. It's amazing. And also, he can build boats after you get a certain thing. So, goes back to my thing of getting off the island. But if none of that works, out, castaway jokes for days. His name's Wilson.
Yeah.
I
There
just
you
wake
go.
up and be like, don't worry, Wilson, I'll do all the paddling. Never gets old.
Yep.
For me. I don't care about him.
Oh, you're so mean. Just picking
I'm
on him all
sorry.
the time.
He's fine. He'll deal with it. He can go talk to Cattin about it.
All right, Kevin.
All right. So next one on my list might hopefully help get us off the island. Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite. She can travel through the tears in time and space. And
I don't know if she'll help you get out, man. She'll probably like get you lost in a different dimension.
Well, if anything, we'll have like random instances of ammo and health coming about. So and money. So,
True.
at least we
Money
have
will be
money.
useful on that desert island.
Yeah, for all the trading with all the animals and.
What are you buying?
Oh, someone should have had him. He needs a job.
I'll buy that at a high price.
Just like 2 coconuts. Tough times, merchant from Resident Evil 4.
Alright. Moving on?
Yep.
Okay, so last person I have on my list, and this is like in case all goes wrong and I'm starving and I'm really hungry, I got Toadstool on my list.
Nice.
From Super Mario Brothers. I'm pretty sure Toadstool is delicious.
I almost put Yoshi down. I almost had Yoshi, and I was just like, get over here, you green dinosaur. Mama gots to eat.
Hey, I'm at least Toadstool's a mushroom and not a dinosaur.
Right? We fed for days. I was like, my allegiance is only to Barney. Get over here, you green dinosaur.
All right. And you already did your last one, Jess. So,
Yep.
Kevin.
My last one. So Jess kind of said we always need that creepy, kind of weird person with us, and I feel like the best option would be Moira Brown from Fallout 3. She's always got crazy experiments going on, and she's always willing to buy and sell things, so you've got resources.
I have no clue who that character is.
Ah, okay.
Dang.
No clue, homie.
You never played the missions in Fallout 3 and Megaton where you have to like do all the weird experiments?
I played like an hour of Fallout 3.
Ah, I see.
That is not enough. That's like taking 3 steps in a Bethesda game.
I got outside the vault and then I walked to the nearby city
Yeah,
and then I
Megaton.
killed somebody. Yeah, Megaton. I got to Megaton and then I killed somebody and I think they had a quest for me. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
They were causing trouble, so I killed them. And
Whoa.
then like we're
Tough
panicking
justice.
and then I was like, I don't know, finals.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I
it's finals
understand that.
time. That's why I quit. Finals time is like the worst time to start playing a new game.
Yeah,
I made
it
that
is.
mistake with Mass Effect. I still haven't finished it.
It happens. We all make mistakes, like
Mistakes
booting
were
up
made.
Civ 5 at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Sorry about the cat meowing.
I didn't even hear it.
Me neither. I think you're making stuff up. I think
I
that's
think, yeah.
actually like your voice in your head from the island.
I'm just going
You
crazy.
don't
Yeah,
even own a cat, Kevin.
What? Then what is this furry thing that's in my lap?
What is that furry thing in your lap?
don't know.
This just became a completely different kind of show. I don't know if I can be part of it.
Alright, different topic.
You know what isn't a furry thing in your lap?
Please tell me.
Yeah.
Repost. Because they're a web service, not furry at all. They offer unlimited storage, unlimited bandwidth, user-friendly interface, and they're also optimized to use content managers such as WordPress, WordUp, and many more features. All that just for $8.95 US a month. But if you click on the thing that lets you put in a promo code and then you type in the word out of continues with no spaces, just one word, out of continues, it'll waive away the setup fee and get you a free domain registration. Bam.
Nice.
Yeah. So check that out. Also, please leave an iTunes review if you're able to. We really need more iTunes reviews if you use iTunes. It's one of the single most helpful things you could do for the podcast. It doesn't need to be a detailed review. I mean, you can be like, I like this podcast. You know, it's more important to have quantity of reviews rather than quality of reviews. So you don't need to spend too much time. You know, if you can leave a review, that'd be great. If you can't for whatever reason, then and you still want to help us out, you can do so by sharing the podcast with your friends on social media or telling a friend. Or if you just don't like this podcast at all, tell an enemy. Tell someone you don't like. And
Just share.
just share. Add that hashtag hire Staffa. That's pretty important too.
Could
So-
you do like hashtag don't fire me, hire me?
That's.
Hashtag hire
That's
Staffa
clever.
2016.
I feel like I owe you money now.
I charge a flat rate
Oh no.
for brand management.
Where did I get myself into?
I'm not nearly as cheap or effective as Dream's host. You should go and just use that instead.
All right. So let's get going and move on to the news, in which I'm going to screen share here for those of you who are watching the video, and I'm gonna click on hide. There we go. Now you can see my screen. And so Jess, this first like this isn't really a news article, but it's kind of like a blog post.
Yeah.
You want to talk about this real quick?
So essentially, this was written today by Ryan Green. He was one of the creators of that Dragon Cancer, which was about his son, Joel Green, and his son's struggle with cancer. It was a little indie game that came out, I think, a couple months ago. Might have been a little longer than that. And it was kind of...
I think you're
some
right. I
people
think it was
really
like 2
liked
months.
it. Some people didn't. There were a lot of problems. But it got Let's Played a lot. Well, some of the Let's disappearing and people have been having problems because John Hillman, who did the music, had copyrighted some of that music, and so it was getting taken down for violating those conditions. And basically, this article I thought was kind of interesting because it basically was Ryan Green's views on Let's Plays, basically saying that in some ways devs and musicians should be getting a revenue of streamers and Let's Players services, because they're not making enough off of their games. So they're saying that Dragon Cancer didn't make enough because people watched videos instead of played it. But the thing is that a lot of other indie games, like Firewatch, they were Let's Played completely, but people still bought the game after. It makes you wonder, like, if it's an actual problem or if it was the fact that Dragon Cancer was not well received.
Well, I guess a lot of these smaller indie games, they don't have the same like advertising budget that some of these bigger AAA games have. So It's not like they can, buy TV spot ads or ads in magazines and websites. They really have to just go based on word of mouth and if someone decides to write something about it on their website. So yeah, they're going to have fewer sales, and I think that's just something that they have to, for lack of a better phrase, they have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And like they can't expect that they're going to make a ton of money and it's mainly because they don't have that advertising budget. So if anything, Let's Plays are actually it's free advertising for them. And
definitely.
Yeah, there might be a few people who just watch the video and never play the game, but there are also going to be a ton of people who watch the game and then they buy it because they think it's interesting and they didn't actually watch the full game, and then they'll tell their friends about it, and then those friends will probably buy it or look into it at least. So if anything, it's free advertising, and I think that forcing Let's Players to give up some of the revenue to the devs, I don't think that's really fair. At least, I mean, that's just my opinion.
Oh, yeah. I tend to agree with it. And it was one of those things, they said that it was interesting and Let's Play culture was really good and it added value, but they were saying that people who were streaming it and Let's Playing it weren't actively advertising it and telling people to go buy it. And then they were losing stuff, and it's kind of like, well, your game kind of has to speak for itself through Let's Plays.
Right.
Yeah.
And be expecting a streamer to go buy this game if they don't like the game.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think it's the streamer's responsibility to say, hey, go buy this game that I'm playing and that you're watching me play. That's not the purpose of them, showing off the game. That sometimes people just want to share the experience,
But it's a really interesting article, and it is interesting in terms of indie game development and stuff. So definitely read it.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah, I'll have the link in the show notes. So moving on.
Yeah.
All right. So last week we talked a little bit about cross-play between Xbox One and PS4 being a possibility, and the Rocket League developer Psyonix Studios, they pretty much said that they've got it all figured out. They know exactly how to do the cross-play between PS4 and Xbox One. The only thing that's pretty much preventing them from doing it at this point is the politics between the two companies. So they pretty much said that at this point, if they both give the green light, both Microsoft and Sony give the green light, then they'll implement this crossplay. But other than that, that's the only thing that's preventing them from being able to do it, because they got it figured out. They know how to do it.
Yeah, that's actually really cool that they've got it ready to go, and it might be as simple as like just pushing an update or flipping a switch. And once Microsoft and Sony figure out their
Everything is as easy as flipping a switch.
yeah, well, it makes kind of sense because they already had that implemented between PC and PS4, so the technology was kind of there. They just had to tweak it to be
To get it.
between Xbox and PS4. So
I
it'll
hope
be
they do it.
yeah, me too. I think this is going to be, if this is something that does happen, then I think it'll just be better for the gaming industry in general.
Yeah.
If more games allow cross-platform multiplayer like that.
I just don't know. Particularly, I don't know if Microsoft would want to do it. Because
Well,
like I bought an Xbox One just to play Destiny with people. Like, if they
yeah,
lose that if they start doing cross-platform, they kind of lose that incentive.
that's true. But I mean, it also was Xbox who suggested it in the first place,
Oh, that's true.
and Sony is the one who's kind of being a little vague and like, we can talk about it, but we're not sure. Uh,
They're kind of like almost trying to go on a date, but not quite. They're like,
right.
oh, I'm busy that night. I'm busy that night, Xbox. I have a headache.
But it is interesting to like think about, because the big reason that a lot of people were either going to buy an Xbox or just a PS4, like their decision was mostly on what their friends had. I mean,
Yeah.
even if the games were cross-platform, like multi-platform, it was usually the multiplayer that was the deciding factor. That okay, my friends all have Xboxes and they're all playing X multiplayer game on Xbox, so I might
Halo.
as well get an Xbox. Right? Yeah, Halo.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's not a exclusive like that, like no, like you mentioned Destiny. I'm sure a lot of people picked their console because their friends were playing Destiny on that particular console. Or one of the things, like when a few years ago with Call of Duty, when the Xbox One and PS4 were first coming out, a lot of my friends were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go with Xbox One because all my friends are Xbox fans and they're going to be playing Call of Duty on Xbox, so I might as well
Yeah.
get an Xbox." So that's like a free sale, to Xbox just because other people are playing on that platform. But that really won't be a deciding factor then if cross-platform multiplayer is a thing. So I don't know how they're gonna. I mean, I don't know how it's gonna turn out in the long run as far as modify or affecting the sales of both consoles, but I think it'll be better in just the community of gamers just being able to play together. And if anything, it'll probably even take away a lot of the issues from fanboy wars. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there will still be hardcore
Fanboy
fanboys.
That's
wars
still
will
gonna
always
happen.
exist.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm sure there still will be like people who are very dedicated to their console. But if anything, I guess it'll open the floodgates and it'll make people a little bit more open-minded.
So
Yeah.
last week I mentioned the reason why this is really important is mainly for like indie developers to have larger communities for their multiplayer games.
Yeah.
The developer here mentioned like has a quote here, and it's really similar to what I said last week. He says, "quote There's this weird psychological thing that happens with people if you let them know that their community is small, even though they're enjoying the game and playing it. There's this weird effect where sometimes it encourages them to stop playing if they think nobody else is going to play with them, which creates a snowball effect where other people stop playing because they don't think anyone's going to play. And in addition to creating a larger pool of players, a shared community would also allow Psyonix to make new features and updates across all platforms." So, I mean, it's pretty much what I was saying last week, how it's really important to have like as large of a community as possible for like indie developers who are trying to make multiplayer games. The more people playing the game, the healthier the community, the longer the lifespan of that game lasts. You know, and that's easier to do if the community spans across platforms rather than having, you know, 3 separate communities, you know, one on PlayStation 4, one on Xbox, and one on PC.
I mean, it's basically like Rocket League. I was playing it for a really long time, and then people got kind of bored on it on PS4, and that's the console that I owned it for, and the PC people weren't playing it much, so I kind of stopped playing it. And now everyone on Xbox is like, oh, I'm excited about Rocket League. And, like, you would get those people then to play with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The soccer ball's in their court. Everyone's court. The soccer ball is in everyone's court.
Football.
Football. The soccer football.
All right. Time to talk about some driving.
Sad news.
That's the sound of Evolution Studios driving off into the sunset.
They went to a farm. It's okay.
So, Kevin.
Yeah.
Driveclub developer, Evolution Studios.
Yeah, this was some pretty unexpected and sad news for
Moving
everyone.
on to something more exciting. No, okay, go. Sorry, go on. I'm just messing with you.
So, Evolution Studios, the developers of Driveclub, their most recent game, they are closing down, unfortunately. And it was kind of weird timing because just last week they were, talking a lot about PlayStation VR and what that meant for Driveclub, and they had, working prototypes of the game being showed off, and everyone was getting excited for it. And then, like, just the very next day or the next week, they made the announcement that they're shutting down, and it's pretty sad because Driveclub was actually one of the best racers to come out for a while, and I really enjoyed the game, and I don't know what this means for the future of Driveclub. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be sold to another developer, or if this just means that Driveclub is now dead.
D-E-D. Dead.
So they're no longer Evolution Studios, they're Extinction Studios.
Oh, that sounds like a...
Rest in peace. Too soon. I'm the worst person to invite to a funeral, I'm sorry.
Rip in peace.
But yeah, I wonder what they're going to do with it. Because, I mean, it was fairly popular.
Yeah. It was a very good racing game because, I mean, it struck, I think, one of the best, the most perfect balance between arcade racer and sim racer out of all the simcade racing games that have been out. And, like, graphically, it was beautiful. I mean, the environments were really nice, the rain effects were awesome, the lighting effects were great. It was a very well-developed racing game. And I honestly it was a surprise to everyone that Evolution was closing down. Like, no one was expecting it. It wasn't like Driveclub was suffering from poor sales and they were on the edge of shut down and they were just trying to make things work out. It's just they seemed to be perfectly fine. Everyone really liked the game, and then they just announced that they're being shut down. So
Well, one thing is for sure, all those people need to get jobs now.
Yeah.
Hashtag hire stock.
I knew you were gonna do that.
Yeah. You're like, you know who's great at restructuring European studios? This guy.
All right, let's move on and talk about these pictures.
Oh man,
that came out on the internet.
The
So
NX
this
controller.
picture is a guy named One Punch Man, and it has nothing to do with what I really want to talk about. I want to talk about this picture over here. So this picture, I'm going to describe this for the listeners out there who are not, watching the video. So these are leaked images that supposedly the the new controller, the new gamepad for the Nintendo NX, which is code name for the new Nintendo platform, and it basically looks like if you took a smartphone and shaped it more like an oval rather than a rectangle.
Like a
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
it's kind of like a switchblade, where it's like really
Yeah, sure. It's kind of
oval.
like that shape. Yeah, good one. So it's shaped like that. It's flat, but oval in shape, and it has like two nubs coming out, and some wires that are connected to it, and pretty much what they're saying is that the nubs are um, like analog sticks, kind of like on the PS Vita,
Yeah.
and the rest of it is like a touch screen. And
Yeah, so this was really weird. I mean, I don't know. Since these photos were leaked, there have been a lot of people saying that it's definitely like fake. Um, but there's a lot of people that are pretty convinced that it's real. And I guess we'll only know in time whether these
Yeah.
are the
E3.
actual controls. Yeah.
Now, do these match up with those controllers spec like blueprints that came out a while ago? There were some that were leaked.
It, I think it does.
Yeah.
With the what was it, the patent design?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna see if I can find that because I do remember seeing something about the patent like designs and them being really weird in shape.
Like
So
I don't like the look of it, and I think it would be really
It just
difficult if it's all touchscreen. It looks like they ripped off a robot's face. Like it
it
just looks like
does, and that's the funny thing is like so many memes have come out ever since these leaked of like everyone like hating on the controller. So that someone like took a picture of photoshopped a picture of the controller like looking outside a window while it was raining. Like nobody likes me.
has somebody put that on like the face of sad Batman,
Yeah.
sad Keanu, but just the NX controller.
So yeah, these you mentioned the patents and that actually I just looked it up and the patent does pretty much fit these leaked photos. However, I will say as a caveat that um, companies tend to put patents out for everything that they come up with, even if they know
True.
that they're not going to go through with it, just because there might be some technology that they dreamed up that they can protect under their own under their own property. And since these patents are publicly available, anyone can use those patents to make fakes.
Yeah.
Because there was something about didn't look into it too deeply because I was at work, but I was perusing through Twitter at lunch, and someone was mentioning that the controllers really seem like they've been 3D printed, and that there's like paint that wasn't evenly painted on in certain parts, and I obviously can't tell, but some people really looked close into this, or they're just making it all up.
well,
So
one thing is for certain, and that is this came out like about a week too early, as you can see here on my calendar. It should have
Yes.
came out like like in the day and a week.
yeah.
That's when this picture should have came out. I think they're a bit too early.
Hmm.
April Fools.
Yeah,
I
well,
really. You go ahead, Kevin.
I was just gonna say that if Nintendo is good at one thing, and I tweeted this, it's coming up with unique controller designs. So if this
True.
is the actual controller design, part of me will not be surprised, and I just don't see these being very comfortable to hold and use.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
not ergonomic at all.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
imagine just like it's kind of like putting, like you just said, putting analog sticks on your phone and then using that as a controller. It works, but it's not ideal. It's not going to be like holding a PS4 controller or like a DualShock or an Xbox controller.
Future.
I hope
So
that it does turn out to actually have like a little knife attachment. Then it can be the N-Exacto knife.
there we go.
Nice.
So while we're talking about Nintendo, there was rumors that Wii U production was going to be canceled like within the year, and Nintendo is now denying these rumors and saying no, the production of Wii U's is not being
Don't
stopped.
they have to put these out like every like 2 months now? Like, no, guys, no, we're just not doing our jobs. Like, we just don't put out enough content. No, we're still making it.
We're not dead yet.
Like, it's like visiting your grandma in a rest home.
Still alive.
My
Might not be
question,
kicking.
my question for Nintendo is have they sold enough Wii U's to even like to justify continuing production? Like, are they selling
That's
out?
a question.
I don't know what their sales are like, but
Last I heard was when it was official that the Wii U sold at a slower rate than the Dreamcast
Yeah.
throughout its entire lifespan.
yeah.
Man.
Like it after the Wii U has lasted longer than the Dreamcast did, it had a lower sell rate. It sold less overall worldwide units than the Dreamcast did throughout the same time span.
Yeah, that's
That was the last I heard.
mhm.
And it
Yeah, that's the
wasn't,
last thing I remember too. I remember talking about that on the podcast.
and at that
Yeah.
point, like, I mean, how can you go any lower? So it's
Oh, they'll do it. They'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Well, with the NX controller design, they've already started that.
They're just like Nintendo's essentially just the game designer that's in that back alley. Can you spare some change? The NX controller designs just came out. I'm gonna need it.
there you go. It's like that. What was it? That the new TurboGrafx console. Have you guys heard about that? Or
Vaguely. I
they did
haven't
like
looked into it.
they did like an Indiegogo to get the TurboGrafx name, and they're basically like making like this console that's offline, so developers can. It's like, oh, it's the good old days when you buy a game and you don't have to download an update or a patch or whatever. And there's apparently a ton of just all sorts of shenaniganry around the whole thing because the backers for the Indiegogo demanded to see like a picture of the hardware, and they showed a picture, and it was like a clear case with some kind of a capture device inside the clear case. I don't know. I don't know enough of the details, but it's ridiculous. So moving on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about friend of the show, good friend of the
Yeah.
show, who loves Out of Continues. This guy's a huge fan, Mr. John Carmack. I hear this guy just exclusively listens to Out of Continues. I don't know if there's
Oh, man.
truth to this rumor or not, but
The other
let's roll with
podcasts are quaking in their boots.
Yep.
Ah.
Yep, they're gonna see their doom pretty soon. Oh.
Oh, and he's no longer a friend of the show. I'm so sorry. He's like, I can't do this.
So, Mr. John Carmack, he is going to be receiving a BAFTA award, that is the British Academy of Film and Television Arts, and pretty much it will honor him with the Fellowship Award at the upcoming British Games Awards, and so like other developers who got this award are like Shigeru Miyamoto, Peter Molyneux, Gabe Newell, and yeah, I think John Carmack definitely deserves it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
I 100%
he's a
agree.
genius. He builds rockets. He can send Doom to Mars. You know, Doom is actually uh, like a biography. John Carmack.
Oh, really? It's his life story?
Yeah, when he went to Mars. That's
Man.
it's based off of him and John Romero. John Romero was the BFG.
Man, The Martian was not what I expected it to be. I haven't read the book or seen the movie, but wait to spoil it.
Yep. But yeah.
But yeah, he deserves it. I mean, he's done a lot. He's revolutionized 3D graphics, so
Yeah.
good job. Good job, Mr. Carmack.
All right. Let's talk about a couple of video game movies. So last week, was it last week? I think it was last week that we talked about Ms. Daisy Ridley, this smiling, happy young lady over here, who is the star of Star Wars. No, she was maybe a moon. I don't know. She was some galactical thing in that movie.
She was the moon.
She was the Death Star in Star Wars.
She was BB-8. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, okay. So, Daisy Ridley, rumored to be in talks to play Lara Croft last week, and now it is true. It is no longer a rumor. You will see this man, she is incredibly happy right here. Like, that smile looks like it hurts. That's how happy she is.
I don't think I've ever smiled that hard in my entire life. Like,
I think I smiled that hard when I was a little kid for the yearbook.
I think she's looking at the section made for Star Wars. I think that they got that off camera. Just like, look at this is the royalties for all the toys that you've been made of you.
So
I don't know. I think it could be good. She was very good as Rey, who was also
I
kind of
agree.
a dark character, and the new Lara Croft is kind of. She would be good for the new Lara Croft.
I agree.
is that out on Blu-ray
It's coming
yet?
out soon, I
Star
think.
Wars, I think it's coming.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be out within a couple weeks.
I still haven't seen it. I'm waiting for it to
You
be on
should go
Blu-ray.
see it. Well, I guess you can't go see it anymore, but
Oh,
You might be able to at a dollar theater.
yeah,
There-
if you can go
I'm
see it.
I'm in LA. There are no dollar theaters.
There are no dollar theaters in LA.
Well, there's like this theater that's nearby, and they show The Room. I don't know if you guys have heard of that movie.
Sounds
I have.
familiar.
Yeah, it really does.
This movie, the one that you're killing me, Lisa.
Oh,
Oh,
that?
yeah, I haven't
Okay,
seen
I think
that.
I've seen some
Yeah,
stuff about it.
like they show that movie. Like every time I walk by it, it has a poster saying The Room. This was a Thursday or something like that. Like, why are you showing this movie that is only known for being terrible? But
Oh,
anyways,
man.
that's just a tangent. There are no dollar theaters over here.
Their dollar theaters are probably the same price as our theaters, like regular theaters.
Right.
Probably.
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 But yeah. Like, I'm not too excited about the Tomb Raider, like, reboot, but this would be a good casting choice for it, so.
I'd be pretty excited for it. I mean, I know the previous attempts were, less than good, but
Solid. Yeah.
I feel
solid
like
facts.
with the right actress, and I just hope that as long as if they could do a good job with writing it, I think this would be at least a decent movie. But
I'm just really drawn to the you don't have to see Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice. Like, was it a hostage situation? Like, did anyone feel like they had to?
Oh,
Like, it's okay. You're in a safe place. You don't have to do this.
the
I
headline.
read an article this morning actually, or earlier today.
Basically, from what like the majority of reviewers are saying, that movie is very mediocre.
It's
expected
interesting
nothing
because
less.
like on IMDb, the user reviews are really high, not the user, but the viewer reviews are really high, but the critic reviews are really low. And like Rotten Tomatoes, it's like a 30%.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
dipping into Fantastic Four territory. Like you're
I watched
putting in
the
Limbo.
double toasted review on Batman v Superman. You're familiar with Kevin? You're familiar with double toasted, right? Like I've
Yeah.
sent you some of their videos.
Yep.
I really like double toast as far as movie reviewers, and they convinced me that it's has its good moments, but overall it's a rental.
Yeah, see, I feel like that. I had a feeling that would be the case from the beginning. I don't know why, but ever since the
Same.
trailers started coming out, I just wasn't really that excited for it. I mean, I was interested, but I never felt super excited. And the the second to last trailer, I think that came out,
The one with Doomsday ruined it.
yeah.
Like when I saw that trailer with Doomsday, I was like, my excitement level went from excited to I don't even care about this movie anymore.
Yeah, and see, like the one thing that really bothers me is they're making a big deal of including Wonder Woman in this movie, but they've shown her like so little in the trailers that it's very unclear as to why she's even in the movie.
I've heard
other
she
than the
just comes
fact
out of
of-
nowhere.
Yeah, other
Like,
than
I've
the
heard
fact
that
of
she
just
just
like
comes in.
introducing her to in a movie of some sort because she's never had a movie before. But
So basically, from the different reviews that I saw, they basically say that she appears at the second half of the movie, uh, and then like by the time that they all three of them fight Doomsday, you don't really care about the three of them fighting together because of them spending so little screen time together. It just doesn't feel like there's actually any teamwork or friendship between them.
yeah,
They're
see
just
that
all
Yeah.
there.
I don't know. That just makes me even more upset because I genuinely think that Wonder Woman is a great character, and I would love to see her like have her own movie. But I feel like they're just throwing Wonder Woman into Batman vs Superman just because people are interested in the idea of having Wonder Woman in a movie, but aren't quite sure if that's what they want. So they're just kind of throwing her in there as like a test, and it's just a
Yeah.
pointless little. Oh, let's see what people think. But
Well, they
they're-
also have like cameos of Cyborg, Aquaman, and I guess they show something of Green Lantern and the Flash. Uh,
wow.
like just really quick glimpses of them, like not actually showing them
So is
do
this supposed
stuff.
to be like the beginnings of Justice League? I guess.
I've
Yeah,
heard that it's a setup to Justice League. Like it
Yes.
feels like an incomplete movie. Like Zack Snyder was trying to basically get all of the characters in there to set up for the
Okay.
Justice League.
I
Well,
mean,
from what I heard, it sounds like Zack Snyder really wanted to make a Batman movie, but was like basically forced to put Superman in there because of the way how the Man of Steel ended, with Metropolis just destroyed.
yeah.
But that's a complete tangent that we got distracted by this little headline on the side of the screen.
That was my bad. Sorry.
Well, that still fits into your Ada Continues agenda. So.
Yeah.
Hashtag hire Staffa.
You could,
So,
you could do a better Justice League stuff. Better,
Yes.
interpretation of Wonder Woman. Hashtag hire Staffa.
But
So-
is it
so-
justified?
Oh God.
The dawn of hire Staffa.
That's right. So Kevin,
Yes.
you love Ubisoft yearly releases,
Oh yeah,
right?
it's my absolute most favorite
You
thing.
you,
about
you love
games.
how Ubisoft like just is always so reliable to bring you the games every year.
Yep, that's
What
my
if-
favorite part.
What
about-
if I told you they're willing to do that with the movies too?
Yay!
And I mean Assassin's Creed movie, Splinter Cell movie, and they're gonna make them into they're gonna span multiple releases.
See, I feel like they already said that they were going to stop doing yearly releases with Assassin's Creed, and now they're just making the exact same mistake with something they haven't even done yet.
Yeah. I thought it was weird that they were basically like, they really haven't even released much about the movie, and they're already like, we're doing a sequel. I'm just wondering if the movie, when we get in there, is it just going to have the actors falling through, like, parts of the scenery, and the movie's just going to stop halfway through, or just actors are just going to leave?
And then those actors will randomly have no faces. You'll just see their eyes and their hair.
Watch
I mean,
Michael
they have to stay
Fassbender
true to
when
the
you're
game
out.
somehow.
That would be legit.
Yeah, it would be
Legit.
true to the games.
That's
I,
right.
Yeah.
I don't
Do they-
understand like how they can confirm sequels of movies that aren't even out yet, and they're not. It's not even like a movie series that's well received. That's not even been done yet. Like there's nothing before this.
Like, Splinter Cell I could almost see, because Splinter Cell has that that arcing storyline that is very Bourne-esque, which I think they said is what they're trying to go for.
They got the director of the Bourne series.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where I could see that. Sorry, I think my cat's at the door. But it's basically like you've got this trilogy.
Actually, that was
Stop.
Kevin's cat.
Was Kevin's cat? Yeah, just
Yep.
hashtag Kevin's cat. But yeah, but the Assassin's Creed, I just make a movie and see how it is, and then decide.
Yeah.
Come
We'll
on,
see.
Ubisoft.
This is another movie that I am not. Well, movies plural that I'm not really that excited for. I mean, I used to be a huge Assassin's Creed fan, and that kind of died once Ubisoft ruined the series. But I don't know. I just haven't really been that interested in.
But Kevin, what if I told you that it would be based off of Assassin's Creed Chronicles India?
Totally watching it.
Best movie ever? For
I
5
you?
out of 7, perfect score.
Like-
It would be a Bollywood production.
Anytime you have to have an entire, you have to have almost a paragraph for a title, you got a problem. Like, you clicked on that thing and it was 2.5D Assassin's Creed Chronicles : India. Like, that sounds like a freaking classification for something, not a
Yeah.
title of a game. Like, stop. Just walk away at that point. Like, it's gonna be like 4.7H Assassin's Creed Chronicles: The Library of John. Like, it's like, no.
Hey, Ubisoft, you can find my portfolio at staffa@destiny.com. I'm available to start working yesterday, and you can get in touch with me. Just tweet at me. #HireStaffa. All right.
They're ready. They're ready for you.
So, man, it's got dark in my room. Woo!
Yeah, it got dramatic. You became the Batman. This is Dawn of Justice. I didn't realize.
It's the dusk of justice.
You gotta leave to go fight crime now.
That's right. So, anyways, we have a huge surprise this week.
Uh-oh.
We have no listener feedback.
Oh, no.
What a surprise.
I can provide listener feedback. I was listening to us and I thought we were great. I
Yeah.
thought we were a delight.
So, Jess wrote in, said, "Hey, ad continues. We were great. I thought we were a delight."
That
So
lady
good.
sounds right.
Thank you.
I trust her.
You, the listeners, can write in just like Jess just did by
Yeah.
writing to podcast@outofcontinues.com.
I mean, I
And-
wouldn't pretend you're in the podcast, because we'll know. Kind of a small group. I mean, you could say you're behind Staffa's bed, but that would be weird.
I don't think there's anything behind my bed. There's a wall.
That's
Someone
what you think
immediately
it
writes
is.
in, I'm behind your bed.
But yeah, write in podcast@outofcontinues.com. Send us your questions, comments. Send me your games. I'll eventually play it and make a video. Thank you, Black Shell Media.
Speaking of which, I still have to make those videos that I
Yeah.
promised
Same.
several months ago.
Sorry, Black Show Media.
Send me your job offers. That's a different email address, though. All right, time to do the plugs and all that. So the Twitch stream, I've been doing some lately. It's twitch.tv/sayitstafa. That's SAYEDSTAFA. You can find me playing games every once in a while. It's probably gonna be a really bad game, and you're gonna be like, "What's this bad game?" And I'm gonna be like, "It's Super Mario Night Combat." And
Expand your repertoire.
yeah, yeah. I need to
that
do
one.
that.
Alright.
I need to play that Undertale. That's what I need to do.
There you go.
Yeah. You can also Jess.
Yes.
You can find her playing games on her Twitch stream.
I lurk in Staffa's chat a lot, and I also run my own. So you can find me at twitch.tv/justplayin. You can also find me on YouTube at justplayin.
Yeah, you've been putting up like that's Octodad lately.
Yeah, I've been putting up some of my work for Extra Life, and I've been putting up some of the other live streams in case anyone missed them. And then I've been putting up vlogs. I've been trying my hand at the talking to people. It's going okay.
Fun fact, one of the developers of Octodad was on the podcast like 2 years ago.
Philip
That's so cool.
Yes.
I loved Octodad. I thought it was like it had dad jokes. It was I just adored it.
It's such a good game. I played that with my brother. It's awesome.
It really, yeah.
Where did the kids come from?
Yeah, right? I don't know. I mean, I think
even the game asked that.
I think Mrs. Octodad.
Mrs. Dad.
Octo non-Octo mom. I don't know what her name is. I'll call her Carol. I think Carol had some, side ventures going on, but it was still a good game, despite her indiscretions.
Anything else we want to plug other than we plugged your Twitch stream? Anything else we want to plug?
Sure. I'll plug Extra Life. Extra Life is a nonprofit organization, if I can talk correctly, where we play games to raise money for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. It's completely free to join. If you go to extra-life.org, you can sign up there. You'll get a donation page. You can send that out to your friends and family, get them to donate to you, and all the money that you raise goes directly to the Children's Miracle Network hospital that you represent. And actually, in Indy, if you are local to Indy, or if you want to drive all the way here or fly here, whatever, we are having our official guild kickoff meeting this April on the 24th. It'll be most likely 2 p.m. until whenever you want to leave. It'll be at eBash, which is in Castleton. If you have any specific questions, I guess somehow you can contact me through Twitter, probably. I am at KSTrehan, KSTREHAN. So we're having our kickoff meeting. We're going to have a whole bunch of people playing games. We'll talk about our guild and what Extra Life is, and you can sign up there. And we'll try to have food as well.
Nice. I love food.
Yeah, me too.
You guys totally did not see me get up and turn on the lights.
No.
I thought you were just going to immediately sign up for Extra Life because he was like, you can go and do this, and you were gone.
Yeah,
I was like,
he went to go get his plane ticket back to Indy to join our kickoff meeting.
Hey, I love free food. I'm hungry.
Free food's good. I'm always down.
That's why I want to eat Toadstool. I'm hungry. Anyways, so if you enjoy what you've been hearing, you can support us by liking us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. Please leave an iTunes review. That's really helpful. You can contact us by email. That's podcast@outofcontinues.com. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/outofcontinues. All those things can be found on the website. That's www.outofcontinues.com. In fact, reverse psychology, don't do any of that. Don't do it. Don't go to outofcontinues.com. Do not. There's nothing fun there. Nothing amazing at outofcontinues.com. Do not hashtag hire Staffa. Don't do it. I see you putting that hashtag. Don't. No. No? Okay, I'm not
That's
gonna stop you.
hilarious because Kevin's thing actually showed up and it looked like he was doing it. Kevin put it on the phone. He's constantly tweeting out.
You can give me a tweet. I am at Sayedstafa. That's at SAYEDSTAFA. Jess, you are
At the Just Playin', that's at the and then JESSPLAYIN.
and Kevin.
I am at KSTrehan, KSTREHAN.
Hashtag higher Stafa. So I'd like to thank my guest host for joining me today, Kevin,
Thank you, Stuffa.
Jess.
Thanks, Staffa. It's a pleasure as always.
We did it, man. Like,
Hooray!
we were like, I was going back and forth between you guys. I didn't know if it was gonna happen, and bam, we did it, and it's like just a little over an hour. Man.
Yeah, that's a pretty
Sweet.
quick episode.
Yes, and with that said, I'm your host, Stafa. I did not get to sneeze this episode, so I did it. Bam. See you guys next week. Oh, forgot to mention, next week is very special because it's going to be Game Design Month coming back.
Oh.
My headphones fell off my head, so I don't hear you guys anymore. So with that
Wait,
said,
this is a
Game
chance to say
Design
things
Month
about
next
Stuffa.
week.
Yeah, this is
Boom,
exactly
and it continues.